Hello guys, good morning and good evening to all of you, depending on your time zone. I hope I am audible to you all. All right, thank you. So let's get started on today's class agenda. Let me share my screen. All right, so I hope you did some practice. And in case if you have any question related to your hands-on, right, or anything, we'll discuss at the end of today's session. Yesterday, we were working on module 2 and we were trying to understand what is Power BI Desktop and how we do the data transformation using Power Query Editor. We are going to continue this second module today, and we will try to understand few other data sources. Like yesterday, we saw how to connect Excel with Power BI, and today we are going to see how to connect the other data sources in Power BI Desktop, and how do we do the other type of data transformations in Power Query Editor. All right, so without any further delay, let's open the Power BI desktop. If we want, we can use yesterday's PBIX file also, but I'm going to do some of the data transformations today using a new data set. So all of you, let's open a new Power BI desktop file and we will load data from new sources. So I'm going to my start menu, opening this Power BI desktop. In case if anybody joined today only, if this is your first class, then I believe you guys have checked out the recordings from your LMS portal. And accordingly, you have completed all the action items as per the in previous classes what we completed. So I have just opened the Power BI desktop. In case if it is asking for any sign in, sign up, nothing to do, just close that window. So you will come to this interface. And we have our class practice datasets, as I have shared in previous classes a couple of times. So this is my dataset folder, right? This dataset folder, if I go inside this dataset folder, here I have a PDF file, right? This is just a sample PDF I took from internet, right? Just to give you an overview, like how we can connect or how we can extract the data from PDF files. So first of all, let's have a look of this file, how this file or how the data looks like. So if you look at this, this is having some of the dummy information and it has, some of the paragraphs here, but with paragraphs, you see there are a few tables as well, right? There is one table. If you scroll it down, you will see we have another table here. You can see it contains speed, driver, car, right? All the car related details, driver details. Then if I scroll it down, I see there is another table, right? And if you notice one thing, this is an actual PDF file. It's not a scanned PDF. It's not a scanned image file. Okay. So let's see how do we extract this data to Power BI. So when we want to extract the data, data is this. This is called the data which is into the tabular format. What you see here into these paragraphs and these sentences, this is called information. This is not considered as a data. There is a difference between data and information, right? So basically, if you have a PDF and in that PDF you have some of the data in tabular format, then Power BI can read that, right? Let's see how. So I'm going to close this PDF first of all, and then I'll try to load this PDF in Power BI desktop. So first of all, close this file, the file which you are planning to load in Power BI, that make sure you have closed. Now I go to the Power BI desktop and I go to get data. And here in this common data source list, I don't see the PDF option here, but no issues. We can click on more. And under this get data list, here we have all the supported data sources. Here I can find where is PDF. Although PDF is appearing here, if you want, we can utilize the search box as well. I select this PDF file, PDF data source here, and click on connect. Now, system will be asking, where is your PDF file? And just for the demo purpose, I'm keeping my files in my local drive. But best practice says you should have your Excel files or any other files placed somewhere in a shared drive or somewhere on a network drive. In most of the cases, companies are using OneDrive or companies are using SharePoint Online Drive. Instead of having these files in our local machines, in our local folders, these datasets files should reside somewhere in a network drive so that in case if your laptop is off, those files still would be accessible. Okay, so best practice says keep the files in a shared or a network drive or a SharePoint drive or a OneDrive. Correct? But just for the learning training purpose, we can use this local folders. So I go to the datasets folder, and my datasets folder I found here is a PDF file. I select this PDF file and click on open. Now Power BI will try to establish a connection with that PDF, and if the connection is successful, then you will see this navigator window. Yesterday also we saw this navigator window when we were connecting the Power BI desktop with Excel. Now Power BI has extracted pretty much all the information from that PDF, but we need to review using this preview window. I will click on the name of the first table, and I found that it's showing me something like that. No, this is not what I want. I wanted that bigger table where we were having the driver car details. So that's my requirement to pull. So I go to the second one. No, this is not what I need. Then I go to third one. And here I found, yes, this is the table what I was looking for. So in this case, meanwhile, you can check out the other sections also if you think that some other table, some other tables contains other information for you. But this third one is having what we need. So for this one, I click on this checkbox for the third table, and then I'll click on the transform data. Right? And here you can decide if your data is all clean, 100% transformed, no transformation needed. You can directly load it into the Power BI desktop. But ideally, we should take it to the Power Query editor and we should have a look of all the data types, column names, table names, and everything. I'm noticing one thing here, the table name is not coming properly, or Power BI not detecting the table name here properly. So I want to a little bit modify the table name, plus I will do some other additional operation on this data. So I'll load this to Power Query Editor by clicking on this transform data. So I hit this transform data button, and the data will be loaded to Power Query Editor. Now I have got this data loaded in Power Query Editor, correct? In case if you see any such message here, like this preview may be up to 11 days old, you can just hit the refresh button, right? Or you can ignore that message. That message shows you that previously, when did you load this data last time? If you are loading it very first time, then you won't see any message, right? So if you see a message, just hit the refresh so that Power BI pull a fresh copy of the data from the source. Now data has been loaded into the Power Query Editor, and here Power Query has generated these steps quickly. Correct? Now, whatever the transformations you want here, you can do as per your own requirements. Correct? But one transformation I want to show here right now. Look at the driver column. This driver column contains driver first name and the last name. And it's a very common transformation in some of the cases, like where we want to split the values or somewhere we want to concatenate the text values. In this case, I want to split first name and last name. And I want to keep this original column as it is. I want to keep this original column as it is. So I can make a duplicate column of the driver. Let's right click on the driver column and make a duplicate column. So a duplicated column will be added at the end, and new columns will be added at the end here. Column sequence doesn't matter much because this data what you are preparing, this is all going to be a backend data. Your users will not see this data. So if your this column is at the end or it's on the third position, it's on the fourth position, that doesn't matter much. Okay. Although when we will be doing the data visualization, that time we can manage the sequencing of the columns. For now, this duplicated column I created, I want to split this. But to split this, I should have a pattern. I have a pattern that after the first name, I have a space everywhere. So based on the space occurrence from the left side, I can split this column, right? So right click on this column header, and here I will see an option called a split column. You have a couple of ways to split it. You can split it by delimiter. By delimiter means if you have a comma, colon, space, right, underscore, based on a specific delimiter, if you want to split this column, or you want to split it based on the number of characters by positions, and you have more options. But most of the time we go with, right, generally we use by delimiter. So let's use this by delimiter option here. Okay, and now Power BI has detected the delimiter automatically. Power BI is saying that you have a space in between of the values of driver column. Power BI detected this delimiter here. If you want, you can change it if you need comma, colon, or something else. And you have an option for writing a custom delimiter also. For now, I'll go with this space, which is detected by Power BI automatically. And I want to split it from the left side when when the space comes, or from right side, or on the each occurrence of the space. Sometimes you may have first name, middle name, and the last name. So do you want to split it into the two columns and three columns, or how? So that options are given, these options given to you depending on your need. You can choose the one. For now, I want to split it when from the left side when first space comes. Column should be broken into two parts. So I go with leftmost delimiter. Select leftmost delimiter here and click on OK. When you click OK, this column will be broken or split it into two parts, right? You can see this is the first name and this is the last name. Now, let's double click here and rename the column following the naming conventions. So I call it driver first name, and double click here, rename driver last name, right? So this is a split and duplicate data transformation in Power Query. And whatever we did, everything has been captured here in these steps. Okay. One another thing, if you notice the name of the table, that's also not having a right name. So let's rename this table also. Double click here, or you can right click and rename this. Double click here, let's call it driver details or whatever the name you want. Okay. So try to do these transformations. And then after doing this, we can load this data to Power BI desktop, right? And how do we load the data to Power BI desktop? Yesterday, we saw that from the home ribbon of Power Query Editor, we have close and apply button. Just click on this close and apply, and this data will start loading to the Power BI desktop. This will take just a few seconds because data is less, but in case if you have more data, number of rows or more, then it may take few minutes also. Data has been loaded. You can see the table here, or if you want to see the data in the tabular format, the data you loaded, you can go to the table view, and here you can have a look of this data, what you transformed. All right. So try loading this data. So here we are learning three things: how to load or extract data from a PDF file, duplicate column, and a split column. Okay. Sometimes you, let's say, did a lot of data transformations here, and for some further analysis, for some data testing, you want this data in Excel, right? Well, there are some other options available for exporting the report or the data in Excel or in other formats like PowerPoint or PDF. But sometimes when you are into the development mode for some testing, for some, data validation purpose, you need this data in Excel. Then the simple way is the data what you have loaded here, just right click on this data here anywhere and go to copy. You have the options here. Do you want to copy a specific value or this column or the entire table? I want to copy the data of entire table. So I select table. So now data of this table has been copied. I will open Excel file in my laptop, and then in Excel, I can paste this data. Paste, Control V, and this data has been pasted from Power BI Desktop to Excel. And the new columns which I created, these are appearing here. Correct. So this is an example like whatever the transformations you did, if you need those columns or that data back in Excel, maybe for some other analysis purpose, you can do it this way. But of course, if you will have here hundreds or thousands of rows, it is recommended to copy. But if you have millions rows here, then it's not recommended to copy that huge data, right? Otherwise, what would happen if you have, let's say, 1 million rows here and you copied the data, then Power BI will take time to copy and load that data into the memory, right? So if you have huge data, then it's not recommended to copy it this way. Then we have another way to export heavy data to Excel, which we will learn later. Got it? To copy the data, we just right click here on this data, what we have loaded in the Power BI desktop, right click and copy table. This way you will copy this table and then you can paste it to Excel. Clear? All right. Now let's save this file, save this data. How? Yesterday we saw that. We can go to the file ribbon and save as, browse this device. I have a folder created, and in that folder, I'll be saving all the files. So I go to this folder and I'm going to define the name of the file, demo PDF source, demo PDF data source, and save this PBIX file. So this data we have saved in that PBIX file. Clear? Perfect. Thanks, everyone. Now we saw a demo of PDF data connection with Power BI. Let's try another data source now. Again, if you want, we can continue using this file, or if you want, we can use a new file as well. Correct. So to keep the things easier for you to understand, initially I will be creating the separate files for each and every small demo. But for now, I'm keeping separate PBIX file, but going forward, I will be working in a single PBIX file. Like right now you see here, I created these files, right? For every small demo, I'm creating a separate PBIX file. But going forward, when we will have better understanding, then we'll keep working in one single PBIX file. Okay. All right. So we created this PDF, understood this one. I just want to make sure if everybody is able to understand the concept. If anybody has any question related to this PDF demo, what I did, if you have any question, just unmute and ask.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Manish this side. Sir,
Yes.
as you copied the data, right, over there. So first step I understood how to copy, but second way you was also saying. So I need to know this thing. This how to copy the data. I try this right.
How to copy the data?
Yeah, but there was too much data in my project in company, so I want to copy, but Power BI gets hang over there. It was, I think, 15 or 20 lakh data, right? It get hanging. I was not able to copy the data in that way.
Okay. So that's what I said. If the way we are, I was telling you to copy the data right now, this is not recommended on the heavy data. I told that thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So in such
Second,
cases, when you have heavy data and you want to cop or you want to take that in Excel, then there are the other techniques which we will learn later in the upcoming classes. This technique works only for few hundreds of thousands of rows, not for the millions of rows.
okay, okay.
Got
My
the
question is, while splitting the data, there is a function called quote character, and some inverted commas were there. The two options are there: inverted comma and none. So, what is the use of that one?
Manish, clear?
I'm not getting your voice.
Yeah, yeah. Just go on.
Let's cross check again. Manish, I was explaining like the technique we use for exporting the heavy data, right? That
Uh,
we use from the Power BI service, not from the code.
okay. So in Power BI
We will
services,
learn.
when we, yeah, I know, when we publish the data in Power BI now, so there is a export option,
Mhm.
but we can export only the from the visualization, and in visualization we don't have the transformation data over there. I tried it, but in Power Query, as you told me that copy the data, selecting the this thing and copied it, get hang. So is there another way as well?
Yes, another way is
Okay, okay,
but you will have to wait for those things.
no issue, no issue. Thank you.
Perfect. I think I think somebody was asking the question, I guess.
Yeah, it was regarding quote character. Then option was available while splitting the data on that window, quote character, where we were selecting space and left mouse, and just below that there was an option quote character. So I could not understand what is the use of that one.
Oh, okay, understood. So just a second.
Only two options are there: none and some inverted commas.
Mhm. Ah, okay, what you are asking. Let me share my screen. So this basically will be by default on the, will be having by default this double quotes. Double quotes basically we use, and we'll see a few examples related to this. Double quotes are used in Power BI for any of the text value data transformation. So if you are, let's say you are performing this data transformation on the text type of a column, then by default Power BI detects, right, automatically that will have the double quotes there. But in case if you are trying to do this transformation, let's say on other type of columns, then Power BI will select automatically that none, right?
Oh,
Like let's say you want to split other type of a column, but generally we do not split the numeric values, right? Or in
okay.
case if we are trying to split a date type of, you can say now we want to split a date. I want to extract year, quarter, month in a separate column. In that case, we don't use a split option. We have some additional options which are applicable for the date related transformations, which I'll going to explain in a few minutes.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah. There is another question I see into the chat. Rochelle, you says how to load the formatted data due to network, so you missed it. So means how to load the data from a PDF file. Is this what you are asking?
No, the PDF I've uploaded, like how it got converted to this table format in PBX.
So that is like when you connected the data to PDF data to Power BI, you selected the third table, right? The third table was by default having this format of the data.
No, for me it is not coming that table in the PBX format.
Could you please share your entire screen?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah, try sharing the entire screen. Abhijit, meanwhile, you can ask your question.
Yeah, mine, good morning. My question is like, when we have saved that PBX file, when I re-clicked to open that file, it's giving an error message. It's saying as it's unable to open the document, and at the last it mentions download the latest version of Power BI Desktop.
So that is clear. You need a latest version of the Power Desktop. Seems you didn't get your Power Desktop updated. Which version you are using, by the way?
The May 25, the one which you helped us to download.
Okay, prepare your screen. I'll ask you to share in a few minutes.
Okay.
So for this, just go to the table view. You did everything correct. Just you need to go to the table view. Below is the table view. Now go to the left side of the screen, all the way left. Then there are some buttons you see up. Go up. Yes, this is the table view. Hit this one, then you will see the data.
Okay.
Right. Do the practice, guys. Yes, Abhijit, go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Uh, Mike, I'll just log in into my laptop because I'm using two machines. I'm actually using your session on the desktop. On that, I'm not using the Power BI desktop. I'm using it on the laptop for practice.
So,
So I'll just
okay,
log in into through that, and then I'll share it with you.
sure. All right, Abhijit, I saw Abhijit Gaikwad. I saw your question is that the scanned PDF will work. No, scanned PDF files will not work. We need actual PDF file. Only that will be working in this process. Okay. All right. So now, any other question from anyone else so far related to this particular thing? And I believe you all have saved your work with this data, this PBX file. Now I want to close this one. Let's close this. And we are going to open a new one. Close and save. Now I'm going to open a new one, new Power BI desktop. So let me open the Power BI desktop. All of you open a new Power BI desktop. The one in which you are working right now, please save and close that. Open a new Power BI desktop. Nilesh, I saw your message. This is the first class, so whenever possible, can you please share the data set links? Okay, so please check out the recordings first of all from the LMS portal. Okay, and the data sets are attached in LMS portal under module 2. If you go to module
Okay.
2 and you scroll it down all the way, you will see there is in class hands-on data sets.
Okay.
These are
Sure.
attached.
Sure, Mike. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I took a new Power BI desktop guys, and now in this one, we will try a new data source. I believe everybody has opened this one. Okay, so sometimes you may get some requirements like you want to load the data from some of the data sources for which we don't have a direct connector available in Power BI. Most of the data connectors are there in Power BI, but like if I want to load data from some applications, and I'm going to the get data and more, and then I'm checking that do we have the connector for those applications, and you don't find those connectors, then one option is you can connect that application with Power BI via a OData, or you can say via the API. API is like a URL exposed or generated by that application and then you can consume that in Power BI. I'll give you some real-time examples on it where it is more useful in day-to-day projects. Did you hear about Jira? What is Jira? Are you guys using or have you heard about this tool? What is Jira?
Yeah, it's a project management tools.
Exactly. So a very popular tool, right? In most of the companies, it is in use. Jira is a project management tool, right? Basically, companies which are operating on agile methodology using this Jira tool for all the requirements capturing, for all the tracking purpose. Similar to this, there is another tool called ServiceNow. ServiceNow is also another tool which is very popular, mainly used by the companies for, a change request, incident ticketing management system. You can say that is a ticketing management system, right? Many companies using that. So if you want, and there are few other data, so few other applications also like these. If you want to load the data from these type of data sources, you don't have a direct connector. If you go here and search for Jira, no, we don't have anything. If you search for ServiceNow, no, we don't have anything. So similar to this, you may have few more applications which maybe your company using, but we don't have the direct connectors available. So in such cases, let's say if I want to pull data from ServiceNow, from Jira, from other applications, then I will raise a request to the Jira admin or to service admin for generating an API. They will generate a URL, and that URL then I will consume in Power BI. To consume that URL in Power BI, I will be using OData option. Let me cancel this window. And if I go here, get data, here you see an option called OData feed. This OData feed option is used in those cases when you are planning to load some data via the APIs, via web services or OData. Correct? How it works. Let's see with an example. I have a sample URL, and that sample URL is publicly available on internet for practicing on the data. That data is publicly accessible, so we don't need any credentials and all. But in case in your practical projects, you would need some credentials. So let's try to load some of the data from that sample database. Where is that OData link? Let's go to the dataset folder. And if you go to your datasets folder, in your dataset folder, you should see there is a notepad file or a text file, Northwind sample database OData, this file, right? Let's open this. And here you see, you have this URL, correct? I copy this URL from here. And now I'm going to the Power BI desktop. In Power BI desktop, I'm going to get data, choose OData feed option here. Now, when I choose this OData feed, I will have option here to paste the URL. I paste this URL. You have basic and advanced tab. In basic, you can put a one URL. In advanced tab, if you want to, if you have multiple URLs and from there you want to load your data, then you can use this tab. But here we just have one URL and I paste that here, Control V or right click and paste. Right. So I did paste that URL here, what I copied. Now I just click on OK button. Now Power BI will try to establish a connection with this sample OData link, and it is asking for providing some of the credentials here. As I told you, this is a public URL, so being anonymous, you can simply connect to it directly. No credentials needed here. But in your practical cases, you will be selecting, some of the, credentials like your organizational account. But this is, a public URL, so we can connect to this directly. So I hit this connect button. And when you hit this connect button, Power BI will try to bring that navigator window with all the data, with all the tables. So let's wait here for that. Now you see a list of the tables, correct? So everybody just load this, come to this window. I'm just taking a few seconds of pause here. So this is how we load the data from the OData feed.
They're unable to connect.
Unable to connect. Okay, give me more details, please. Unable to connect means you don't have URL, you are getting an error or what?
Sir, getting error request failed or data request failed. The remote name could not be resolved as error.
Okay, so are you copying the URL correctly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll see.
Let me retry even.
Yeah, just of course retry, right? So one try if error coming, then try again, and still if error persists, then let me know. But this is just sample URL we are using, so sometimes it may fail. Okay, so I sent the notepad file also into the chat. Somebody was asking for the dataset, although all these details given to you in your datasets folder, guys. So I will recommend you to access it from there so that going forward, it doesn't become a problem for you. Now I'm going to select a few tables here, right? And the tables which we will be selecting, I will ask you to have a look of those, correct?
Sir, we have to select basic or advanced?
Basic. So let's select few tables here. First of all, I select categories table, okay? And then selecting customers table, selecting order details, selecting orders, selecting products. Now, based on which criteria I'm selecting these, well, it will purely depend on the requirements, what tables, what data you need. For now, I'm just selecting these commonly used tables, right? We need products, customer, category, and order transactions, right? Order header and order line, correct? So this is, simple data, easy for everybody to understand. Now we will be practicing on these 5 tables, what we are selecting right now, but what table needs to be selected and what not, that purely depends on your requirements. Okay. Now, what we want, we selected these tables, but we wanted to do some of the data transformations in these tables, right? Because I'm noticing that when I'm trying to load this data, right, here I saw some of the unnecessary columns coming, right? There is no data, right? Everywhere I see record table like that. So I do not want to keep these unnecessary columns. So I want to do some transformations of this data. Selecting these 5 tables, now I'll be clicking on transform data button. And this data will get loaded into the Power Query Editor. So there you see my Power Query Editor window and having these 5 tables here, correct? Now, I want you to all just have a look of these tables and try to understand what kind of the data these tables are containing, right? And understand that which is going to be a key column or a primary key column, which we can use for identifying the unique records in each table. So I give you a few seconds, right, or a minute to quickly go through to all these tables and try to build your understanding of this data, right? So after loading it into the Power Query, just go to one by one on all these tables, understand what kind of data it is, then how it relates to the other tables. Go to each and every table here and a little bit build your understanding. I give you this for 1 minute. So all of you, please do this. Again, mentioning the better understanding of the data you have, that will be always better for you to do a project. Correct? Just to build the understanding on the data, right? Like what data it is, just try to understand that. Okay. And how it relates to each other table. Just try to understand this thing. Just build your understanding, right? No need to send the messages into the chat, right? Just have a look of the data, try to understand it, And if you face any difficulty in understanding data, then just unmute and ask. Why I'm asking you to understand the data? Because that is the very first task we should do. And most of the time we miss doing this one. We just load data and start developing something, and we start then failing into the projects. Yes, please.
Before loading, instead of deleting the column and all, we can also add some transformation rule, like suppose the data type of any column, or like if suppose commas, we need to remove the comma or colon. So that type
Is
of
the, sorry
transformation.
to interrupt, is the data understanding clear? Have you got that understanding? That's my question. Have you checked out the data of each table, and have you got the understanding of this data?
No, what I'm saying, so the cleansing also we can do, right, before load?
No. For now, I'm asking is just have a look of the data, and if any question related to the data understanding, then unmute and ask. Other questions we will discuss later, right?
Okay.
I do not want to, divert from the main topic and we all will lost somewhere. So I want to have a very focused session in a right sequence. Okay. What you are asking, I noted this point. I'll come to this automatically. These questions will get answered. Okay. Currently, we loaded this data in the Power Query Editor. We haven't loaded this data in the Power BI Desktop yet. So this data in the Power Query Editor, and have a look of all these tables quickly, understand what data it is. Just have a quick look of some of the columns. If you will not have the understanding of data, then it would be difficult for you guys to work on it. That's why I'm asking you to spend 1 minute, just quickly scan this data. Those who are facing the errors and connecting this, are you able to connect to the OData feed now? Somebody was getting the error.
Category ID only found in categories, but not in other tables. That is what one observation.
I disagree. If I go to the products table, in products table, I do have the category ID column here, and this category ID is available here. So if I'm having category IDs, I can pull their names also, like category ID 1, category ID 1, and category ID 1 means this product is chai. Second one is the chang, any seed syrup, right? So these first two products belongs to category ID 1. And category ID 1 is what? Category ID 1 is beverages, means any kind of soft drink, coffee, tea, beers, right? That's the one category ID. So this is how we need to understand the data. So basically category is my product category. And then for each category, we have multiple products. We have a couple of type of soup, couple of type of juices, couple of type of beers, coffee, teas, and couple of type of other products, right? So for under one category, we have multiple products belonging to that category.
In this data, supply ID means supply master and employee master is missing, I think.
Good
IDs are
observation. Good observation. We have a supplier ID, means these products are supplied by some suppliers. We have the IDs, but we don't have a supplier master table here, right? So that's right. We don't have that table. For some reason, I didn't load it, but your point is right. If we want, we can load that table also so that we can identify that this product is supplied by which supplier name, right? If you want to see that. So we can pull the supply table also, right? So good observation. I didn't pull it intentionally, right? Because I wanted to keep just minimum tables, but in projects, this is the thought process you will have to execute. If your users are asking to create a report, then you should ask your user, hey, Do you want to see the data by supplier also? Do you want to see the data by employees also? If they says yes, it means you need to pull those tables also so that you can connect those tables with this data. So that's how we run that, requirement gathering process. One thing I want to mention, when you are getting the requirements from your business users may not have, a very matured understanding in all those things. They can tell you, I need this on a very high level, but you need to grill those requirements further. You need to set up some calls. You need to try to bring or understand much better from them what exactly they want, right? So I believe you have checked out this data. Good. Now, if you notice one thing here, in each table here, we have at the end some of the columns. Although these columns called as relational columns, these columns are having the reference of the other tables. Like I have a supplier table, but as a relational column. If I want, I can extract the supplier name directly from here as a column. But these columns will not come always here like this. These columns are coming here just because of a sample database you are using today. When you will use your actual project data, your company data, you may not have these columns coming here. So I will suggest, let's remove these kind of columns, what you see here, where you see record table like that. Remove these columns, and we will try to create these relational columns from our side. To remove these, I select this one, and this one, and right click and remove columns. When you're removing the columns, make sure that by mistake, you do not remove the first columns. So for example, what happens when I go to orders table, first column is by default selected. And if I go here and I just press control and select this, I will realize that only this one column I'm selecting, but no, there was the first column which is already selected. And what will happen when you will remove these along with these columns, your main order ID column will also get removed. So sometimes people make these mistakes. So make sure if there is any other key column you have that's selected by default, deselect that. Do not have that column selected. I wanted to remove only these columns, review it, and then carefully right click on headers and remove, right? So we removed these 4 columns here. So let's do this a little bit cleanup here. These tables containing these columns coming here at the end just because of a sample database, and some category table having a binary column as well. So let's remove this from customers, remove these. Make sure that you don't remove the key ID column, which we were having in the beginning. So just do this quick cleanup from each table, delete these binary data record table columns.
Category, what did you remove, please?
I removed the binary column, and there was another column called products, right? A picture and products. Those 2 columns I removed and just kept only these 3.
Hello, Mayank.
Listen, the
Yes.
Mayank, from categories, you moved out the binary, right?
Correct.
And from customers, which one to remove?
Okay. In all the tables where we don't see any data, data for me is this. This is not a data. This is not a data. So I removed all those columns where I don't see any data, like these table, record, binary, right? I just removed all these.
Okay.
And Divya, I saw your question that should we click on anonymous while connecting to the data? Yes, that's right. Click on anonymous and then you will get connected to the URL, to the data which is behind that URL. Shivani, I saw your question in orders query from ship name till end column profiling is not showing. It comes, it takes sometimes, few seconds. So give some time to load this properly and then it will come for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So hope you all have done this quick cleanup here. Now we will be doing some of the data transformations on this. So once we got the data in Power BI now, we can do different type of data cleanup, data transformations here. Okay. How we'll do it? Let's see. I'm going to the orders table, right? I'm in the orders table. In orders table, I noticed that I have columns like order date, required date, ship date, correct? In ship date column, I saw we have some of the blanks. How do I know ship date has a blank? Because I'm just looking at this black portion of the column profiling. This tells me if below the column name, you see this line, which is called column profiling, it is telling me the quality of the column. So I have a few rows, a small portion of the data, which is blank. Well, sometimes having blank in column makes sense, like in this case. I have the ship date flowing here in most of the columns, but I want to see only the blanks. Let me just filter the blanks here. I select only null. Don't do this. I'm just showing to you for explanation only. I applied a filter for the blank ship dates. So that means all these orders were placed on these dates, but these are not yet shipped. Shipment of these orders is pending. That's the reason shipment date is blank. Once these orders are shipped, date will flow here automatically. So in this case, having blank in ship date makes sense. That's correct as per the business. Okay, let me clear this filter. I applied just to show you. But I noticed one thing here in all these date columns, the data type of these columns are date and time, but time doesn't make any sense here. Everywhere I see 000 by default coming, right? And we are not capturing the time in these columns. So in such cases, best practice says that keep the data type as date, because date and time column consume more space. So if there is no use of the times here, then better you change the data type to date. You can change on one by one columns, or you can select all these 3 date columns, correct? And then there you see an option data type on top. It's date and time right now. Click here and choose date only. When you choose date, time will go away and the format or the data type of these columns will be changed in one go. Currently, the date format here is appearing like DD, MM, YY, YY, but we can change these formats after loading the data to Power BI Desktop. So change the data type for these date columns. Now the next operation here is from the order date column, I want to extract year as a separate value. So wherever I see this year thing, I want to fetch this year in a new column, right? And same way, I want to fetch month or quarter also in a new column. Okay, so how we do this? Let's see. Prasad Reddy, I saw your hi. Yes, is there any question, any blocker? Prasad Reddy. Unmute and ask if there is any blocker or anybody having any such issue.
Mayank, how did you change the data type for all the columns together?
Just select all these columns, press Control key, select the columns.
Yep.
Correct. And then you see here a data type option, right? So it was date and time. I just selected this one to date.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Yes, Charles, what question you have? The format, different format you need. I'll come on that, right? For now, the date format you see here, this will be depending on your system date, depending on your regional settings. If your regional settings are different, then you may see different formats here, correct? So what Power BI detects as per your regional settings, as per your system date format. But if you say I want in a different format, I want YYYY or something else, we can change those things, right? And I'll come on those stuff. Clear, Charles?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sir, my sir.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Daytime time zone. Which situation is used for?
Date and time zone. When you have the data of multiple time zones, right? In that case, you go with that approach. Then all the date or times, that is basically, that makes sense for the time. All the times will get converted as per your local time zone. So for me, my local time zone is IST. So let's say I got one order, one line here for IST time zone, one line for EST time zone, one line for PST time zone. Then all these will get converted as per my regional setting, as per my current system time zone. So in that case, we use that option.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So we change the data type. Now I'm saying from the order date, I want to extract year, right, in a new column. So in this case, we have some of the ready-made options here. For example, this is my order date column. I'll select this. Then I want to add a new column, right? So if you want to add a new column, of course, you will go to the add column ribbon. So selecting order date, I'm going to add column. Then there is, I see a date section. From this date section, I can extract age, date only, year, month, quarter, and all. For now, I go to the year section. Here you see year, which will just fetch the year part from the selected order date column. The start of year will give you the first day of the year. Means in this case, if you think year is 1996. So what will be the first day of the year? 1st January 1996, right? Or if you want the end of year, means 31st December of 1996. So if you want these kind of information, it's readily available here. But I want only the year. I just choose year, and it will add a year column at the end in just few seconds. No need to write any formula, no need to write any code for it. Just you need to remember these options. Where are these? And this will come by default when you will be doing the practice. So I fetched the year column from the order date column. Right? So we have inserted year column at the end, and new columns comes at the end. Sequencing doesn't matter. It's all just the backend data. Now, similar way, I want to fetch quarter number also. So again, I will select from where I want to fetch the quarter number, from the order date. So let's select the order date first. Here is the order date. I select this order date first. Then I'll repeat the same process. We'll go to add column, date, and go to quarter. Choose quarter of year. And there you go. It fetched quickly your quarter number also. But quarter numbers are coming like 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to add some additional text on it, like Q or QTR, something like that, then how we do it? Let's wait and watch, right? And I'll show you those things. For
I
now,
think we can also do using formula like equal to and naming the new column as year, right? And user dex formula like equal to year. We can also do now.
We can do that, but currently we are in Power Query chapter. We are learning Power Query. So my focus is just Power Query. I'm not mentioning anything related to DAX, right? People don't know what DAX is.
Okay.
So we got these two columns added, year and quarter, correct? And the good thing is without writing any formula, without writing any code, just doing clicks and basic transformation is done. Good. All right. Now, whatever the transformation we did here right now, let's load it into the Power BI desktop. We'll come back to the Power Query again and we'll do a few more transformations. But whatever we did so far, let's load this to the Power BI desktop. And how we load it? You are a champion in that. You know very well. Go to the home ribbon, and there you have close and apply. Just hit this column, close and apply. And this data, what you loaded from OData and you did this transformation, this will get loaded to your Power BI desktop now. All right, so I have loaded all this data to Power BI desktop. And if I want, I can check this out by going to the table view. For now, let's save this. How? We know that. Go to File, Save As, saving it into my folder, and I'll save it with the name of demo OData source. Save. So I have saved the partial work, what we did so far. Right? That's always a good practice. What data you loaded, a transformation you did, just save it. Now we are going for a break. Before going on break, at least we saved this work so that we don't lose it. Okay, if in case my desktop got crashed, my laptop got restarted suddenly due to some technical issues, better to save it. Although if something got crashed in between when you were doing something, Power BI gives you an option to recover your unsaved work. But that is always a risk, right? So best practice is always keep saving it after, on a frequent intervals, or if you are going for a break, or if you are ending your job for the day or transformation you are going to save, then this way you should keep saving it. Okay, now, yes, Abhijit, you were having a question related to your screen share. Is that fixed, or still you have a question on that piece? Abhijit, you raising your hand. Any question from your side?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, my question was, right now you showed how to segregate the year. Now after that you showed another step where the ID category, the 3 was shown. How did you do that? I just want to see that part.
Quarter number you are saying?
Yes.
So same way, from where I selected year, same way I selected quarter. Like I was having this order date column, so I selected this order date, add column, and then date, and what I want. Whatever you want to extract, just go here, and I want quarter. So choose quarter of year.
Okay.
And when I choose quarter of year, it gave me quarter numbers. Quarter numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 quarters in a year.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Mayank, when we created year column, we still have year in order date, required date, and ship date. So why don't we remove that so that we can avoid the duplication?
I will show some other examples using those columns. So that's why I'm not deleting those, but it purely depends on your project requirements. If you don't need, remove them. But I will use those columns to explain some other topics. That's why I'm keeping those.
Okay, and also can you show us how to remove the year from the order date, shipped date, and the required date?
You want to remove the year? Means you want to just remove this year piece only?
Yes.
And you want to keep only the date and month here?
Yes.
But why? Maybe this order was placed on 31st December 1996, but it is shipped in the next year, January, after 10 days. So how will you make that segregation then, that order placed at the end of the 1996, but it shipped in the beginning of the 1997? Getting my point?
Okay, yeah.
So it doesn't having any impact. It's not causing any issue, right? We should have the complete date. I thought of you are asking that why are we not removing the columns? I thought like you are asking why are we not deleting these columns? That's what I was answering. But removing a piece from here will even create more issues. Not recommended.
Okay.
Sudhir, you can also do, I think, sir, he's saying to change the data format as he only required date and month, and 1996 will be get removed from here. He can do, but using the format change option.
Yeah, but is that the right approach to do it?
No, he's not doing well. But if you
That's what
want
I'm
to not to show over there, he can do using day and month format, and
correct. But
automatically it will be get removed.
correct. But I didn't explain that feature what you are mentioning here right now, right? So please
Yeah.
refrain using some advanced topics or any such feature which I didn't explain. I do not want others to feel uncomfortable like what people are talking, right? So let me explain all the features, functionalities, and let's go with the flow, everybody, right? At the end, we can discuss, right? When I complete the session, at the end, I'll give 10 minutes to talk with me any advanced related things, right? We'll have a open ground at the end.
Sure, sure.
So Abhijit, does that
Yeah.
answer the question?
Yes.
Okay, man.
Another.
And go at one by one, please. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to show you the error which I'm getting, unable to open the document.
Yeah, share your screen. Yes, Vishwa Kumar, any question meanwhile from you?
Yes, Mayank, actually I'm getting an error. Error in orders.
In orders.
So yes.
And what the error description is?
When I click on the error, when I was closing and apply it, then it was popping up an error, and when I click on the error, it took me again back to the Power Query editor.
Okay, I'll check this one with you. Give me some time. Abhijit, share your screen, please.
Yeah, I'm just doing that somehow.
Yeah, share the entire screen.
Share screen, entire screen. Okay.
And select that screen and then hit the share button. It's coming. Yeah, I see it.
Just a minute. 1 second. I'll just do it. Are you able to see this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one. And right now I checked the version also. It's not showing as June 2025.
Okay. All right. So do you have two versions installed in your Power BI desktop? Can you close this message?
Sure.
Go to start menu of your Power BI in your Windows and search there Power BI desktop. Yeah, just type here Power BI desktop. Do not do other thing. Just search in the search box below.
Okay.
You see, yeah. Here, just type Power BI desktop.
Power BI. Yeah. Power BI. Desktop. Okay.
Okay, and go to the second option which you see there under apps Power BI desktop. Just click on the arrow next to that. Power BI desktop up, yeah, arrow next to this, you see arrow, click on that. Open this one.
Should I click on open?
Yeah. Also, I am noticing that you have some of the files already open. Just close the other PBX files. Yeah, close this message. Cross, there is a cross button on top. Yeah, and now go to the help and show me the version of this.
Yeah.
May 2023. That means you have two versions of Power BI desktop installed. One is May 23 and one is June 25. So what is happening when you are doing the double click, by default, that request is going to the 23 version, right? So uninstall that second version, second Power BI desktop from your machine. That's causing the problem.
Okay, understood. Fine. So I'll do something. I'll finish off the class, and after that I'll reinstall once the entire thing.
Perfect. That is the best approach, right?
Best thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Even I said, like in the day one class also, if you have any prior versions installed, delete everything. Delete everything related to Power BI desktop, and then do a fresh installation from Microsoft Store.
But surprisingly, on the day one itself, when I had downloaded the version, it was showing as 2025. I don't know from where did this 2023, appeared.
Because you installed, I guess, in 23 this version from its website. You downloaded the setup and installed that, right? And that version will not automatically update.
Okay.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Everybody install the Power BI stuff from Microsoft Store, and that version will keep updating automatically.
Yeah, in fact, I did that same thing from the Microsoft Store itself. I don't know
You
from where
did,
this
but there
comes
was
from.
already a version in your machine.
Probably, yeah, probably somebody must have, previously tried it out on my system.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Abhijit Gaikwad, I think you were asking something.
Yeah, that after loading the data, so the date format has been changed. So
I'll come on
like
that.
yeah.
I'll address this after the break. And I think somebody also wanted to share the screen. I think it was Vishwakumar.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, share the entire screen, please. Any other question meanwhile? Just unmute and ask if somebody having any question related to the things, what would it show up? Sarthak, I saw your question related to Excel, advanced Excel thing.
Sir, I have a question, but it's
Mhm.
different from this thing. Like when we export the data, right, using old data feed, using link, there were a more option coming over there, like NMS Windows and API. So I need to know what is the features, like we just export the data, right? After pasting the link into the URL, and anonymously we export the data from there. But another option also coming, like API window and all these things. So I
Those
need
are the those are the credentials method, right? You want to connect to that URL via your organizational account, via API account, whatever you will get from your company, you will use that type of credentials to log in or to connect to that URL.
Okay. And the second question is that suppose we have exported the data in Power Query, right? So there were one more thing coming, likely to say we exported the 5 table, like categories, order details, and product, right? Suppose we miss some another table that we need to be exported in Power Query. Suppose in 5 table we miss the order table, right? So how I can get the order table at the current time? Do I need to go in a source and need to export the table? Is that only method, or another method I can apply over here so that I can get the result?
Okay, so first of all, I want to correct you. You are not exporting, you are importing.
Importing. Oh, I'm sorry.
Correct.
I'm
So
sorry. Yeah.
to import a new table, you have two options. Either you can go to
Can you
new
maximize
source.
your window? Yeah.
No, it's somebody else is sharing this screen, right?
Okay.
So to have two options, you can go to new source and import that table again, or else you can go to the source of the existing table, and from there also you can add a table.
So when I am trying to add this table, right? As I'm doing in a regular practice, so the table have in a binary form. In means we can say it have the sources, right? So after expanding this one, the first one gets removed, or
it won't
it
remove.
have.
I will show you how to do that.
I think you will copy the table and make a duplicate table.
No.
Like categories.
No, there is another approach for that.
Okay.
Good. Yes, so Vishwakumar, I see your screen. The error here you see is coming due to the wrong data type. So just delete the query errors, what you see right now. You see query errors folder, right click and delete this. Query errors folder, yes. Right click, delete group.
Delete group, okay.
Yes. Now go to the orders table, please. And just gradually scroll this to right side. All good, all green line in the column profiling. Keep going, keep going. Wait, there is a ship country having some error. You changed the data type for ship country to date. How a country can have a date data type? So that's causing the problem. So you inserted some of the steps at the end. You see, inserted quarter, year, change type. Just you have two options now. Either you undo everything and do these things again, or just go to the changed type step. Select the changed type step here. Yes. And you see on the top, you changed in the formula bar. Can you expand this formula bar clicking on the downside arrow? Yeah, you changed the data type of order date, required date, ship date, which is fine. But I don't know why you selected ship country. Maybe you selected by mistake this one. So let's modifying this query as a beginner is a little risky. Let's take that risk. Before the comma, you see this curly bracket, right? Just select that bracket stuff with the comma for ship country. Yeah,
Ship
select.
country.
Yeah, before click here. Click before the
Here?
ship country bracket. After first bracket, you have two brackets. Click in the mid of these two brackets. Yes. Now select this all till comma. Till comma. Select everything. Next comma. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You see the comma. Select this comma. Delete. Press enter. So you fixed your ship country error now. Just do one thing. This red color is still not going away. Just change the table. Go to another table and come back again. Go to order details and come to orders again. So that refresh. Go to orders again and check that is that a red color for the column error is still coming. And this is a good learning for all that how do we do the troubleshooting for the errors. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Ship country is now fixed. There is no red color coming, no error coming for the ship country. Just check all the other columns also. No error. Good. Now hit the close and apply button. So this is how we identify the errors looking at the column profiling and we fix those. Hope you all understood this. Okay. So these kind of errors will come. Errors gives us the learning. So don't worry, errors. If any errors coming, just let me know. So you got the loaded, data loaded, no error now. Okay, good.
Okay, thank you.
So let's go for a quick break. And after the break, we will take some new topics and we will be, discussing more questions. After this break, we'll continue, guys. Thank you. Hello guys, welcome back after the break. I hope all of you joined back. We can continue. Okay, so we loaded this data, right? Before the break in Power BI Desktop, we loaded it and saved it. Now we are going to take this data back to Power Query Editor and we will try doing some more transformations. So let's click on Transform Data button and this data will get loaded back to the Power Query Editor. And go to the orders table. In orders table, we just created this year and quarter column. But my quarter column is having the values like 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes we want to see the quarter values like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 like this. So how to add Q as a prefix here, or Q or QTR, what you want. How to add a Q as a prefix for all the rows. For that, I want to do the transformation in the existing column. I don't need another column, right? In the existing one, I want to add Q as a prefix. So I selected this column, then selecting this column, I go to transform ribbon. So whenever you want to do any transformation in the existing column, you go to transform ribbon. If you need a new column, then you go to add column. So in this case, I go to transform, and then I see there is an option called format. Under this format, I have a couple of options to make any of the column value in lowercase, uppercase, capitalized, trim, clean, prefix, suffix. Here is an option called add prefix. So I choose this prefix option here. And in my quarter column, a value as a text Q or QTR, whatever you want. Let's say QTR, right? This QTR should be added as a prefix. Click OK here. And you got this prefix added here quickly. Got it? So this way you can, add prefix and suffix also if sometimes needed in your data. Now, after adding this prefix, I got this value, right? This column has got these values now. What I want a new column now. And in the new column, I want the concatenated values, right? I want to concatenate year and quarter together in a new column. I need that. So I need a new column, right? So I will be selecting these columns here. And the selection of these columns, the sequence of selecting these columns matters. What you need first. First, you want to see quarter or you want to see year, right? So first I want to see year. Okay, I will select the year first. Then press Control and select the quarter, right? So the sequence is year and quarter I selected. Then I'll be going to the add column ribbon. I want to add a new column here for concatenation. There is an option called merge columns, right? So I click on this merge columns and I choose a separator. So I'm going to merge these two selected columns and I need a separator. So in between year and quarter, I want a value like comma, colon, something, whatever. I want to add a custom value. Let's say choose custom and add hyphen, right? I add hyphen. Now there is another option to change the new column name which you are adding. My new column name should be year, comma, year hyphen quarter, right? Or whatever the name you want. Although it's optional, after this step also you can rename the column. Now I click OK. And I got a new column added here at the end, which has year and quarters concatenated value now. Right? And I didn't lose the original columns. Those are there as it is because I have created this merged or concatenated column using the add column ribbon. Got it? So this way we can do the concatenation of multiple columns. Sequence of selecting columns matters here. If you select quarter first and then year, then in your output column, quarter will come first and then year will come. Right? So I hope this is clear. Adding a prefix and same way you can add suffix also, and how can we merge columns or concatenate the columns. All right, now I'm going to load this data, what I did right now. And for that, I'm going to home ribbon and click close and apply. We have loaded this data. If I go to orders table, in orders table, I can see I have the new columns which we created. Clear? Now, looking at this data, if I go to order details table, in my order details table, I have a product ID column. I have a product ID column in order details. For some requirements, I want to pull the product name here. I have product ID like 65312, but I want to bring the product name for each product ID here in a new column. Is there a way that I can pull the product names here? Are we maintaining this product data in our model? Yes, we have that data in our products table. If I go to the products table, this products table having product ID and the names of those products. So somehow, if I can bring that product name from products table to order details, then my requirement will be fulfilled. I want to add product name here. This is very similar like a VLOOKUP. If you are Excel person, then you will understand. I want to do a VLOOKUP of the products in order details, and I want to add that product name here. Or if you are a SQL person, then you understand that join. So I want to do a SQL join here, like a SQL join to pull the product name. Correct? So let's see how we do this. I want here all my order details, all the rows from order details to be checked in products that do we have the product name available in that table. For each row, one by one, I want these records to be checked in the products table. Correct? So right now, let's take this data to Power Query Editor. Click on the transform data. And I go to order details table. Step one, order details. Then in order details, I want to merge the table, merge table or lookup table. I want to merge the queries. Step two, I click on merge queries here. And then here it will be asking that your first table is this, right? This is your first table. In this table, you want to add something from another table. Which is that another table? Which is that lookup table? That is my products table. So I will search the products table and select that here. This is third step. So I'm going to link order details and products. Based on which column? We need to select the common column here, right? Which is the common column? I'm selecting, writing the steps here. So I believe that shouldn't be an issue for anybody. In Power Query Editor, step one, select this. Step two, select this. Step three, select this. Right? Devesh, try following the steps. Let me know if you have any difficulty in this. Now, we need a common column to be selected in both the tables. So I will select the common column is product ID. I will select the product ID and product ID in both the tables I have. And that's why I was saying column names should be correct. If in case you have column names different, still you can choose, but column names should be same because data is relatively same in both the column, both the tables. Correct? So I select as a fourth step product ID here. This is my fourth step. I select these columns, click on this column, click on this column. So product ID column got selected in both the tables. Then Power BI will detect the join type here automatically, and left join will be always the right or the best join. Although Power BI does it, you don't need to change it until unless needed. 99% you will be going with the left join. What left join means? Your first table is called as left table and this is called right table. So all of the records of this table you want to look up in this. That's what it is saying. All from first matching from the second. So all rows from the first table matching into the second table. That's why this message you see here is shown. You don't need to change this until unless needed. I'm saying 99% you will be going with the left join because you want to look up a table data in your first table from the second table. Correct? We will have more examples related to this. For now, I selected this common column and then it's telling me that how many rows are matching. And then as a fifth step, just click on this OK button. The moment you hit this OK button, a new column will be added in your table. And that column will look something like what we removed in the beginning, a relational columns or a merged column. So following the steps on a screen, just try to do this quickly. I'm doing it once again if anybody wants to see it, although writing these steps I think shouldn't be an issue for you guys. Selecting order details, then going to merge query, and which table or which query I want to merge here. Product. So I select the products table and select the common column, that is product ID in both the tables, and click on OK button. Right? Devesh, are you able to follow or need any help? Now click on OK. When I clicked on OK button, I got this new column added here at the end of this table. Right? Now, the next step is I will try to expand this table. Here you see a double side, you got a column added, but you need to click on this double-sided arrow button. Click on this double-sided arrow button and you will see all columns of products table. Which column I wanted? I wanted the product name. So I deselect all the columns and will select only the product name. Or if you need any other column, you can select. But I want only product name. And along with the product name column, the main table, the source table name will come here as a prefix, right? So I'm keeping this one. If you don't want, you can uncheck it. The table name won't come, but I'm keeping it so that it tells me that this column is coming from products table. So I selected the product name only and click OK. Now I have fetched or extracted this product name from products table. So for each product ID, I have extracted the product names now here. This is like a SQL join or like a Excel VLOOKUP. So using this merge query operation, we can bring the columns from other tables. Okay, but for that, you must have a matching column or a common column in those tables. Clear? All right, let's see. Hope everybody has done this. Let's see one more example of this. I'm into the products table, right? For these category IDs, I want to pull the category name here. Although it's showing me that these products belongs to these categories, but what are the name of these categories? I want to bring that category name here. So again, selecting the products table, I'll go to merge query and I'll select my categories table here, and which is the common column here in these two tables, category ID to category ID. Correct? And then just click on OK. When you are clicking OK, you got this table, your new column added here. You can click on this double-sided arrow button to expand and fetch what you need. You need only category name, select this and click OK. And there you go. For each product name, yeah, right, you have got the category name added here. If you want to move it in the beginning of this, you can manually move it like this, just for your understanding of just for a view purpose, or you can right click and move this to the beginning. This goes to the beginning of the data, or maybe you can manually move it slightly right side now. So this way you can arrange the sequence, but sequence, what you are arranging, this is only for the Power Query Editor. After loading it, it doesn't matter. So this way I extracted the category name here now. So these are some examples of merge query. Right, so we did one example. with writing the steps, the second one without writing a step. So I want you all to try to do this. In products table, bring the category name. Ernesto, I saw your question that can I publish this PDF to Power BI service, this PDF or this PBIX? You are asking for publishing PBIX, then yes, you can PDF. Why you want to publish this to Power BI service? Why you want to publish the PDF file? I'll come to you to understand this. Okay, so hope we made this one. Now click on close and apply, load your data. Click on close and apply, load this data, the transformations you made right now. You made transformation only in these two tables. That's why these two tables are reloading the data, not the others one. So the data has been now loaded. Now, that's all for today. We are going to have some of the questions. So hope the new data transformations, what we practiced, what we learned today, these are clear to you all. If you have any question, then just be ready. I'm coming to answer your questions. And if the homework for today is you need to do all this practice, what we did, plus you should start working on the assignment. Under the module 2, you have an assignment here, assignment data set, and assignment is given. Do not start with the quiz of module 2, right? Tomorrow I'll ask you for the quiz, but today I'm just asking you to start working on the assignment 1. This will take some time for you, right? So at least begin with this assignment, start doing some of the basic operations, okay? So you are in good position to begin with the assignment of the module 2. So start working on this as a homework. Plus, whatever the work or the things we explored, that should be the by default homework for you all after every session. If you want to do the practice, then you will start forgetting things, buttons and all, and going forward, it will become challenge for you. So please do practice. Okay, so those who have questions, queries, please save this PBIX file. Okay, so those who have the questions, queries, please go ahead one by one. I'm just unmuting you. Yes, Abhijit.
Yeah, hi, Mike. Yeah, actually, after transforming data, there is one more column that is discontinued in the products tab.
Correct.
So is that we need to remove that or what?
I kept it for now because I have a plan to use this one to explain one functionality on top of this. That's why I'm keeping it. But again, at the end of the day, it's your decision based on the requirement analysis. If you realize that this column is not going to be used anywhere, delete this. If you are not 100% sure on some column whether it will be used or no in future, let's keep it for now. And after completing your project, at that time, you can do the final cleanup on whatever is not needed. Delete that.
Okay. And what is that false and true? Like, is that matching or what?
It is like, is the product discontinued or no? Like iPhone 16 discontinued true means it's still available. iPhone 9 or iPhone 8, iPhone 5 is now discontinued, right? So discontinued true means that product is not available in the market. Discontinued true means inactive product. Discontinued false means it's active product. It means it's still trade is happening on this product where you see false. Discontinued true means it's discontinued. No more sell purchase on that.
Okay.
I have one question. So
Mayank sir, I have
sometimes
a
I'm not able
question.
to see the merged columns. It was disable mode.
Okay, in Power Query Editor.
Uh,
You are
no,
asking
it's
it for merge query or for merge columns, where we were doing the concatenation.
yeah, concatenation merged columns. Actually, it's showing this disabled mode, even though I selected the
Select
product name. So I'm in the
product name.
Power Query editor only.
Okay. You see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what you were trying to do. Tell me the steps. I'll
Uh,
be clicking same way.
yeah, click on the product. Select the product name. A product name column, entire column. Then transform. Yeah. The merged columns are disabled status. What is the reason?
What are you trying to achieve by doing this?
If I wanted to merge the one column with other column, then
Which other
those kind of
column? Did you select that other column here?
no, not selected.
That's the reason. Let me select the other
Oh,
column. Right now
oh,
it's
got it.
enabled.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good.
Hey man,
Yes.
I have a question. So when we did this merge query and we selected one of the columns or the columns that we require from other table, right? Let's say we selected right now only category name as one column, but we forgot, like I wanted to, pull something else also. How can I edit this to, like again select some columns from that other table?
Do you see a red circle on my screen?
Yes.
If you want to add other columns in future from the similar merged table, you don't need to merge it again. You will go to the expand categories. Next to you will see that settings or a gear icon. Click on that and you will get option what else you want. I wanted, let's say, description also. I select the description, click OK, and it came. Here's the description.
Got it. Great. Thanks.
Good question. Yeah. Next question, please.
Sir, from my side, so we are doing the merge query here, right? So earlier I was using merge query as new, right? So whenever I need to make this column, right, like I was doing through manage relationship, is it not a correct way to do that?
There are multiple ways to do the same thing. What you are doing, that is also correct way, but we are not right now into the relationship module. That's why I'm not showing that. We will do that
No,
also.
I just want to confirm, is it not correct?
That is also a fine correct way. No issues in that also.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And Ernesto, you were having a question. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Okay. Yes. At the beginning of the class, you were showing about the how to link Power BI. We link the PDF file. Can we can we publish to Power BI services?
You want to publish this PDF to Power BI service?
Yes. That's my question.
So, but I want to understand why you want to publish it in the service, in the PDF file. What exactly you want to achieve?
Yes. After I link in Power BI, maybe I can do some graph, and after that I can share with my team. And so I'm not sure if it.
So your question is that the data what we loaded from a PDF, can we create some of the graphs, some of the charts, and we can share those charts with the users? Is that what you want to see? Okay, then what you were asking, that's not the right way to do it, to publish the PDF. We will load the data of the PDF to Power BI desktop like we did. And then next week, we will learn how to create the visualizations or different type of charts using this data. And this PBIX file, Power BI desktop file, this one we will publish into the Power BI service to share with our users, with our leadership or the management in our company. That's the way we do. In upcoming classes, we will be learning that stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Rajesh, you raising hand. Any question? Rajesh, you are not audible to me. Check your microphone, please, or put your question into the chat. Yes, Abhijit.
Yeah, this side, Abhijit. Thanks for the information. Also, I would just want to know, like, if we use the new data has been added, right? If the revised PDF or something like the revision has been done for the products tab and the category, so that if we have already did the activity of like a VLOOKUP, so is that applicable for the new line items that has been added?
Good point. Whatever the transformations we are doing here, right? All these will get applied automatically on your new data, right? So if you added new items in your source and you are bringing that or refreshing the data in Power BI, so those new line items will automatically have that, a merge query logic applied. Not only merge query, all the transformations, whatever you do in Power Query, everything will be automated for your new upcoming data.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Mayank, I have a question.
Yes.
As you said, aside about the assignments,
Mhm.
there are other things also showing under the assignment like demo 1, demo 2.
That is
Uh,
practice document.
those are practice documents.
Yeah.
And for
So
assignment 1, there is
mhm.
one, data set that it is showing to download. We have to download that data set and make an assignment on that one.
That's right.
Okay, fine.
Mhm. Shivani, you raising your hand. Any question? Yes, if anybody not having any other questions, feel free to drop us if you want, or if you want to stay much welcome. Yes, Shivani.
Actually, I
Thank
have
you.
dropped in chat. Can you just check, please?
Okay, let me check. Meanwhile, next question, please. Sakshi, I think you were asking some question. Don't know if that got answered. No. No. Just checking.
I can't able to paste the screenshot like I had practiced yesterday.
Mhm.
So I'm not able to paste that in the chat. So can you explain that?
Okay, so you were saying you have a doubt from yesterday's class while practicing in Power BI Desktop, particularly in Power Query Editor. I noticed that in your example, a step name called change type 1 is showing, but it's not appearing in mine, which is fine. There is no error, nothing wrong in that. What happens,
Okay.
maybe when I was loading the data in Power BI Desktop, in my
Mhm.
case, Power BI Desktop did that auto data transformation on my data types, right? So wherever you see the change type transformation step, right? The
Mhm.
change type is going to be a auto data transformation added here. Nothing to do
Okay.
with that. If that is causing the error, then you can undo that step, you can delete that step and change the data type of your columns manually by your.
Okay, but yesterday I did twice, but same it was showing like change type only, not the one change type one.
Yeah, that
So
is, if
just
you
got
add one more,
confused.
yeah, no, let me show you here. See, I
Yeah.
changed the data type of, let's say, this column.
Mm-hmm.
It added here change types, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let me do something else. I renamed this column. It added renamed columns. I renamed it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm
Yes.
changing the data type of this column. So it will add another step, change type 1. If I add one more, then change type 2. It's just a counter which will be increasing.
Okay.
That's the only thing, right? So nothing wrong in it.
Okay, like suppose you have reordered level, you have changed that one, and another, suppose you are changing unit on order. So,
Right. It will,
like the
if I'm
first
doing the
one.
same step again, it will come as
Mhm.
reordered columns 1. Again, if
Okay,
I'm doing something on any other column, then
another.
reordered columns 2, 3, like that, that counter will keep increasing.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Rajesh, your question was, can you share the prefix added step one more time? Okay, so to add a prefix, what I did on my quarter column, I did that. So I was just going to, here on the quarter column, which was having these, numbers, I wanted to add a prefix. So I selected this column, then going to transform ribbon, I went to this format, add prefix. And here I want to add a prefix as QTR and click OK. So we got this one added here. And then after I'm, concatenated the columns. I selected these two columns, year and quarter, and then from the add column. Now I want to add a new column, not the existing one. So I go to add column and merge columns, merge column like concatenation. And then I'm concatenating it based on the combination of these two columns. So this is what we did there. Hope it's clear, Rajesh. All right, that's good. Okay, I
Hey,
see
Mayank,
here a question, Ramakrishna. Please let me know if we will be learning how to extract data from Jira in future class. That's what we did today. You don't have a way to pull the data directly from Jira. You will have to extract the data from Jira through our data. So you will have to raise a request to Jira admin, right? They will generate a URL for you and you will consume that URL in Power BI like we did today using OData. Correct? So this way you will have to try on your Jira account because Jira is not a free tool. So I don't have Jira license or Jira account, right? It's not possible to practically show because for that we will have to purchase a Jira license first. So try this approach in your organization scenario, right? And if there further you see any error or any issue or any help you need, then just let me know. Yes, next question, please.
Sir,
Hi,
I
ma'am.
have a question related to the assignment, right? So assignment have multiple files. So do we need to practice on all file and after that need to upload the Power BI PBX file over there as it's
Which
reflecting
assignment you are talking?
assignment one, and assignment one have three I think slides, right? 1 2 3 I downloaded. There is a PDF file, right? And in PDF file there is a step that we need to do, I think, right? And after that demo 1, demo 2, again assignment, data side, and all other things are also there. So do I need to practice on these thing and I need to make a file in PBIX like report, and after that I
This
need
is
to
your assignment. To work on this assignment, your data set is attached below here, assignment data set. That is the
okay.
assignment.
So
Now
don't
the
we need to
other thing
submit?
is, of course, you will submit your assignment. Right? You open this assignment here, assignments are needs to be submitted. Here you see submit assignment button. So your PBIX file you will have to attach here.
PBIX, okay.
Right? Below to this assignment, you see there are some demos, right? Demos means like if you, whatever we did here in the class, if you want to practice on similar things with the help of screenshots, with the help of some steps, then those steps are given to you here. Demo 1, demo 2. So this is additional practice documents for you. If you have time, go through to it. But assignment is mandatory for all to do.
So how do I submit the assignment again? Just click on.
Click here, click on submit assignment and upload your file here and submit.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, Kritika, you were asking a question that can we be able to learn SQL Python in this class? No, we will not learn Python SQLs in detail. We will learn just a very high level overview. I will give you about the SQL and the Python. A high level overview I will give, but we will not learn the entire this SQL or the Python in this session. This is purely for Power BI. Whatever, just to make the connection with Python, to make a connection with SQL database, a little bit knowledge we needed that I will share with you guys. Okay. Hope this is clear, Kritika.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Diana, I saw a question from ServiceNow data warehouse. How can we bring data in Power BI? So for ServiceNow also, if you want to pull data, then there is no direct connector available. From ServiceNow, you need to raise a request to ServiceNow admin. They will generate a link or a ServiceNow URL or API URL that you will consume in Power BI using the OData feed like we did today using the sample URL.
No,
Or
ma'am.
the
Last
other,
I attended your lecture because of I was sick and not well. I had to drop in between. There you said that we have 3 workarounds, right? One we can bring.
that's what I was coming there.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah,
one
yeah.
option. Second option you
Mm.
can do is that's requires a huge investment. If your company is using a data warehouse, then you should ask your data warehouse team to bring that data from ServiceNow to SQL data warehouse, and then from SQL data warehouse to Power BI.
Okay.
If your company using data warehouses.
Okay.
Third option
Okay. Thank
is
you.
little manual.
Good.
You can download the data from ServiceNow to Excel and then manually feed that Excel to Power BI.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so that's all, guys, from my side for today. Hope it was informative, new learnings for you all. And thanks for all the wonderful questions you asked to make the sessions more interactive. And for sure, your questions helped others also to understand these things. We'll continue in the tomorrow's class. Please do practice, do hands-on, right? And tomorrow we will explore some new functionalities. Okay. Thank you. Rochelle, pulling data from two systems. Yeah, that's already in our plan. So we will learn that in upcoming classes. Okay. All right. Have a good day. Good night. Bye-bye. Take care. See you in the tomorrow's class.